mental, bodily, and vocal, everything, in the service of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, and any position in anywhere in the world, can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus become actually Mahatma, the great soul. Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam-yena Tasmai Shri-gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dapada-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunatanditam Tam Sadivam Tadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sagana Tadika Shri Vishakhanditam Sra Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Harihi Pancha Kalvatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Atitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So this is the quality of the Mahatmas, as we're hearing the great souls, always worshiping Krishna. This is the difference. We sometimes worshiping Krishna, sometimes we come to temple, take darshan. Sometimes we remember Krishna, sometimes we have desire to render some service, but it's not that for the great souls, the pure devotees. They have difficulty not remembering Krishna. It's hard to get Krishna out of their mind. So naturally, everything they're doing is in this bond of love. So this is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, always chanting about the Supreme Lord. As we know, this is what's enlivening to the soul. This is what gives life to the devotees. Hearing and chanting. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. So the great souls, they're always chanting, but about what? They're always actually glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna. The difference, our speech, we glorify so many things. We have so many other objects that we think are more important, actually. This is our illusion. This is Maya. So the great souls, the glorification, it doesn't stop. Once it's come in, once it's begun, it doesn't end. Everything they're doing is an act of glorification. This is the stage we're aspiring for. So it takes cultivation. Therefore, we take opportunity make a deliberate effort to, yes, let us speak some Krishna Katha. Let us discuss Krishna with others. Let us try to hear this glorification. These sound vibrations of Krishna are so potent. The gopis, they say, if that sound of Krishna gets in your ears, then you're in big trouble. If those topics, which is a Shabda Brahma, it's a spiritual emanation of the Lord, the internal potency. If you hear that, you're finished. All your material plans, all our plans to be something great in this world, Krishna will untie the knot of that illusion. And what does that mean? That means you become a real winner. The real winner is just to obtain Krishna. We don't need anything else in this world. This world of Maya, making us think we have so many other duties, so many other responsibilities. This is what I need. This will make me happy. This is all the influence of Maya. As we heard in the previous verse, the great soul, he is under the Daivim Prakriti. Daivim Prakriti. He's taking shelter. He's under the protection of the internal potency. So in that, they're like fish swimming in the ocean of devotion. And the difference that they like to glorify Krishna, we like to glorify ourselves. We want to do Satitam Kiryanto Mam. Let me tell you what I've been doing. Let me tell you my good qualities, all of my great feats, even in devotion. So this is the danger that even we've come from the material conditioning with a very strong false ego, making us think we're very great. And then we come to devotional life, why? To dissolve that ego. But what happens, the ego is so subtle that then as a devotee, we start thinking, I'm a great devotee. So the same problem that we had in the beginning, now it just has different form. So this is the danger of the ahankar. It's the most subtle of Krishna's particular energy. But it takes very refined perception to perceive the false ego. Otherwise, we can very easily go through our services thinking we're doing bhakti, but actually we have some selfish desire. We want to serve ourselves. So this is we have to be on guard, and how we overcome this by the association of senior devotees, advanced devotees, devotees who are free from false ego. Then our ego stands out more. Then we recognize, or they recognize. So pure devotees, they don't want to glorify themselves. They're never looking for fame or recognition. They detest, they don't want to. If anyone hears something about me, I hear anything about me, the ears become very big. When Krishna's katha is there, very small. So this is our disease. And this is one quality mentioned of pure devotee. Now yatantas, that means he has this fully endeavoring. We can endeavor to a certain degree, but fully endeavoring. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he explains that if you want to achieve Krishna, you can only do it by giving 100%. Only by giving yourself fully can you attain the full, complete whole. So it's not a very easy thing to really give ourselves fully. We may be giving certain percent, but the great souls, they want to give everything. See, that's the difference. They're getting life by giving. We're thinking if I sit back and I enjoy, I'll be happy. No. They've realized if I really want to experience spiritual satisfaction, I have to give fully. So this we can aspire for, and this help overcome anarthas. All the anarthas like laziness, greed, weakness of heart. It's because we're not really maybe giving ourselves fully. Namasyanta, offering obeisances. Dhrida vrata, with great determination. The great souls, they don't have any reason to perform vratas. They already have pure bhakti. But they do so anyway. Raghunath Goswami is doing Gokta Parikrama, every day offering thousands of obeisances, very staunchly, Dhrida vrata. And it's not actually required for But they do so anyway because it's their vrata. It's a form of, it's a bond that they've established with the Lord. I will set aside this much time to worship my Lord. To whatever degree we can try, it's very helpful. Now, we're conditioned souls. We cannot imitate these things. But for us, very simple, strong, regulated vow, regulated aspiration, we can have determination. Just go to the morning program. Just go to Mangal Arati. Even for us in Kali Yuga, this is very difficult. Who's going to Mangal Arati every single day? It's not so easy. Everyone, we sometimes think we do some big vrata, we'll do this many nirjals and this many chaturmas, but are we going to the Mangal Arati? That's a simple austerity that Prabhupada gave. In Kali Yuga, it's very difficult, but that's a very strong austerity. We just go to this, go to Mangal Arati and go to Guru Puja, worship Srila Prabhupada. Even that is powerful for us. Namasyantas, to offer obeisances. The word namaha, ma is me, and na means not. So to literally, it's a form of self-abnegation. When I offer obeisance, namaha, I'm saying not to me, not for my ego. I'm offering respect to you, it's not for me. So this is an activity that we do, it's part of our culture. But how much conscious are we when we're offering obeisances? Or is it just a ritual? We just go through the motions. We see the deity, we see Tulsi, we see devotees. If the feeling is not there, you will get some sukriti, sukriti, but the real thing is to invest the feeling into all of the activities of bhakti. Everything. So Prabhupada gave us a formula that everything we're doing has so much potency if we just can be conscious of it and we can avoid offenses. This is the most dangerous thing, is offenses. It's very subtle, especially in Vrindavan. The way we deal and respect with others. It's very subtle. But Radharani is listening everything we say. And when we speak about devotees without full respect, it's like putting a covering on our heart. Because we don't appreciate, we don't understand the position of devotees. We speak like they're ordinary. They're not ordinary. And if we speak like that, our bhakti gets covered. This can solve so many problems in our life, in our devotional community. So much prajalpa, so much fault finding is going on now. It's very un-Vaishnava. The Vaishnava is one who has no envy. He's just giving respect to everyone. He's seeing the soul, even in the animals, the plants. So he cannot disrespect anyone, what to speak of another devotee. Or an advanced devotee, someone senior to us, sannyasi, a guru. We cannot talk casually about it. They're not ordinary living beings. Even ordinary living beings, a devotee is conscious that Krishna is in their heart. Everyone deserves full respect, no matter what position they are. And when we lose that, then we start to have problems in the devotional life. We're not able to get the taste we're hearing about. Just hearing about Krishna's pastime, so much mercy is there, if we can do it in the offenseless manner. This is what we're aspiring for. And Namasyantas Chama Bhaktya, doing all these things bhaktya, with devotion. That's the difference. We're in the sadhana stage, we're practicing these things, but they also have their full form in the perfected stage. When the great devotees are continuously wrapped in their personal relationship with Krishna in all of these activities, and they don't want to stop. You have to tell them, Prabhuji class, Maharaj, it's 3 hours after. They don't want to stop speaking about Krishna. They don't have any other taste. It says here, when there's question of glorification, one has to glorify these things. Therefore, Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of God. So, who can propose something higher than being attached to the Supreme Personality of God? There's nothing higher. No. Only Maya will persuade us something is higher, but nothing is higher. And it says that full Krishna consciousness, to achieve the success engaging all activities, mental, body,